friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing a bake with me. I'll be making triple chocolate cookies, and I'm not going to lie to you, these are my favourite things in the whole wide world, even though they're really naughty and really high in calories. I will pop up on the screen here what the whole batch of cookies calorie total is and what an individual cookie calorie would be. Calorie, whatever. So yes, that's just a bit of information health-wise. I don't normally make these on a regular basis, but it's a special treat. My mum's gone into work for the first time since COVID-19, just for the day, so I thought I'd make her a little sweet treat for when she gets home. I put up a poll on Instagram asking if you would rather see what I eat in a day or bake with me. That's the video I'm doing right now. And obviously you said bake with me, so this is why I'm making this video. Yeah. Ew, I can't sing. So yes. Right, just bear with me because this is the hottest day of the year so far this year, and I'm literally sweltering. I am just in a t-shirt and shorts, and I've got my hair down for some reason, and I'm cooking as well, not hygienic. So I'm going to put my hair up, which is not an attractive look, but we're going to do it anyway, and get cooking. So let's get on with the video. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through what ingredients you will need. So let me just get them up on my laptop and I'll be right back. I'll be using this recipe from igokatie.co.uk. I've used this recipe forever, like since I've started making them. I actually originally got this off Tanya Burr when she was doing like baking videos, and she brought out like a baking book or something, and Zoella, I sound like this really cringy mega fan, I promise you I'm not. And Zoella makes them sometimes as well. So I use this recipe here, and you will need, 200 grams of unsalted, salted butter, whatever you can get your hands on currently. 300 grams of caster sugar. That is a lot. Need 275 grams of self-raising flour, or I made these at the beginning of lockdown and we couldn't get hold of plain flour. Get my words out, hon. No, what am I talking about? I'm talking twaddle as per usual. I couldn't get my hands on self-raising flour, so I used plain flour and baking powder together. So I did a teaspoon of baking powder and about 270 grams of plain flour. I think I pretty much said that wrong, but who cares? You need one singular egg. Don't ask why half the bloody box is missing. Who knows? Mumsy does what she wants. You will need white milk and dark chocolate. 3 bars. And you could use, the recipe says you could use 75 grams of cocoa powder, but I actually use, instead of putting the dark chocolate in the cookies, because I like dark chocolate but not enough to put in a cookie, like as the chunks in the cookie, I melt the whole bar of this and use this instead of the cocoa powder, and it actually works out just as well. So that's my little top tip. So I changed the recipe a little bit, but still taste as yummy. Then you'll need a mixing bowl, large mixing bowl. You'll need a, bloody hell, just nearly whacked myself in the face, a wooden spoon. And if you're gonna melt the dark chocolate like I do, then a bowl that is microwave proof, bowl that's microwavable, whatever you say, that won't blow up in the microwave. So yes, a bowl like that. You'll also need 2 baking parchment paper lined tins, because this recipe makes around about 12. So you'll need about 2, depending how big or small you make them. But you have to remember that these do expand and rise, so you just got to be careful of that. Okay, so the first step is to preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius in a fan oven. I also just want to apologise now that this setup is no means the best, because it's not. You can't see anything I'm doing, but I will lift it up and show you. But I just can't seem to get the right angle, but we'll get there eventually. We'll have to make do with this angle today, and obviously I'll show you some close-ups in between, but yes, let's just make do with this. And I've also forgotten to say, you also need some scales, because how the hell are you gonna measure these ingredients? So let's go and get the weighing scales. So I'm completely not like Zoella or any other professional baking YouTubers. I don't pre-measure my ingredients, because let's just say that's boring, and you guys want to see it, don't you? So let's do it. So you first of all need 200 grams of butter. So I'm going to add that to my mixing bowl, which is here. Adding the 300 grams of caster sugar into the bowl with the butter. God, I have to bend down to show you this. But yes, that is the 200 grams of butter, and now add 300 grams of caster sugar. Is to cream the butter and sugar together. Sometimes you have to melt the butter a little bit more to mix the two together, because it's quite a task. And I can tell you, making these cookies, you definitely lose calories whilst you're making it, because it is an arm workout. I mean, you can use a mixer if you're lazy, but I'm not lazy, and I even did arm day today, so putting more muscle on my arms. I'm joking, I am the weakest person on my upper body ever. So I'm going to cream the butter and sugar together, and then we'll go to the next step. Once the mixture is like creamy and light, then you should add your egg. So I'm going to go and do that now. To your bowl. You mix it together. this point, melt your dark chocolate in a bowl in a microwave, or you can do it, what's that called? Where you put the pan, you put a pan with boiling water and then you put a bowl on top. I don't know, I'll leave it here. You can do that too. So whatever you want to do, whatever floats your boat, melt your chocolate now as well. Okay, just had a panic. I thought I'd broke the scales. And also, if you're thinking why the hell is your self-raising flour in a Ziploc bag, that is the the corner shop down my road sells it like this because that is the only way we can get flour. Clearly got it from like a wholesalers or whatever and decanted them.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
你别笑。做一个专业的演员吧。
Breathe. We'll clear that up before Dad literally fucking murders me. I'll be back. Love how I was just talking about how it's hard to get self-raising flour and I chucked half of it on the fucking floor. Anyway, add 275 grams of self-raising flour. Okay, hon, you can't speak yet again. And if you can't get hold of this, put 270 grams of plain flour and a teaspoon of baking powder. God, I sound like I have a bloody voice crack. Okay, let's try this again. Now the scales aren't working. This is just going great, like, these scales really don't need to make these. So yeah. Right, put them on there. Got it? Thank you. So adding 275 grams of self-raising flour. Once you have added 275 grams exact of self-raising flour, why do I always forget to finish my sentences? So annoying. I'm going to break up this chocolate bar and put it in this bowl and then put it in the microwave for 1 minute 30 and see how melted it is.
Plans through the highways till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on.
I'm just going to mix in the flour with the current mixture. And I've already got it down my top. Shock!
To thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands.
So the cookie mixture should look like that before you add the melted dark chocolate or cocoa powder to it. Okay, so I've just got a small teaspoon and I'm just gonna mix up the chocolate. Okay, I'm really near the edge and this is scaring me. Until it's melted. It might have to go back in for another 30 seconds. Okay, so the dark chocolate, melted dark chocolate, should look like this, and you are going to add all of this into the mixture. Okay, once you have added the majority of the dark chocolate, I couldn't get all of it out, but don't worry, I'm sure my dad would love to lick the bowl. Hygiene. So I'm going to mix all of this together, and then we are going to add the milk and white chocolate. Oh my god, my nails are a disgrace, but yes. Okay, so when you have mixed the dark chocolate into your mixture, it should look something like this. There should be no white pieces from the mixture before, so should it be looking like this. Let's just appreciate this. This was clean on. Such a messy cook. Right, okay. Okay, so I've got hiccups. I have got hiccups. You okay, Helen? Come on. Okay, so we have got my milk and my white chocolate, and we're going to break them up and add them to the bowl. Okay, so once you have broken up the 2 chocolate bars, you have to mix them in until they're all incorporated into the mixture. I've got my baking tray here. I am going to get a bit of mixture, make sure you have a bit of white chocolate and a bit of milk chocolate, and try and evenly distribute it around. Try and do as many as you can on the first baking tray, and then just use the leftovers on the second baking tray. But do remember, these expand, so do think about spacing when putting them on the baking tray. Obviously, wash your hands before you do anything with cooking, and especially putting your hands in the mixture, because bacteria, and especially with COVID-19, make sure you wash your hands, because we can't be risking people having, I just spat, that's gross, people having the numbers going up. I don't know what I'm talking about, but just make sure you wash your hands, because it's grim if you don't, and I won't like you. Okay, so the mixture has gone, and I managed to fit 5 more on this, that is heavy, on this baking tray. So I have I have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the recipe says it makes 12, but depending how big you want your cookies depends how many come out. So I've made quite big ones and it's come out as 11, so I'm quite impressed. Why am I impressed? I've made these so many times. But yes, the more you get, the smaller they are. The more you use, the less of them they are, if that makes sense. Was that English? I don't know.
If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said.
Okay, so I've got my cat timer. I'm going to set it for 10 minutes. So when these come out, you may think they're too soft and they're undercooked, but they're not. You just have to leave them to cool and they will harden, and 10 minutes, I can assure you, they are like the perfect gooiness in the middle. If you want to cook them longer and then wanting to be harder, maybe towards the 15 mark, but yes. Okay, so I asked you guys to ask me some questions whilst I wait for the cookies to cook. And I'm also going to eat some cookie dough. I wouldn't recommend because obviously it's got raw egg in, but if you want to, that's your own choice. And I love living life on the edge. that is so wrong. That is just not me. But I love cookie dough, so nothing's gonna stop me. So first question, if you could learn to cook anything, what would it be? A nice first video, I like it. Thank you very much. That's a really hard one, you know, because I'd like to think as long as I can follow a recipe, I can make it. And I have made quite a few things in my lifetime, because my mum's a good cook as well, and my grandma is an old food tech teacher, so I've grown up knowing how to cook and how to bake and all this sort of stuff. That's really annoying, the spoon's in it. The spoon's still in it. Okay, so I'd really like to know how to make, like a souffle. I know they're really hard to make, so I would like to know how to make them. So yeah, maybe a souffle. Wow, really posh, Amy. Don't even know what one of them are. Okay, next question. What uni are you... Speak, Amy. Okay, what uni are you going to and are you excited? So I said in my first video I am going to Bournemouth Uni. If COVID-19 doesn't stop me, I'm going to Bournemouth Uni. I am really excited. I've already started to get to know some flatmates and people that are going to Bournemouth, people on my course, so that's really nice. That's what I liked about the whole process of booking your flat and everything like that, and the fact that they have a Facebook page and everything is really welcoming, and I really like that. So I'm really excited to meet the people who I've been talking to online, and yeah, I'm really excited to start my course. So let's hope we don't have to start them online, because I would really like to experience the lecture style and freshers. Obviously, I'm not gonna lie, I love a drink. So yes, I'm really excited for uni. Okay, so next question is dream holiday destination. And honestly, as I said in my first video, I have been quite lucky with travel since I was younger. Why have I got weird hiccups? Okay, I would really like to go to the Maldives or Bora Bora. I feel like that's just a classic girl thing to say. Love that. Or maybe Jamaica, because I love spicy food, and yeah, so maybe them destinations. But obviously Bali was quite high up on my list, so I was lucky enough to go. So obviously that's one's been ticked off, but maybe going with some friends or like a little lover. I don't have one, so I don't know why I'm saying that. That would be very cute. Yes. Okay, next question. What inspired you to do YouTube? And honestly, I don't think anyone I don't think anyone inspired me to do YouTube. Hang on, let me just check the cookies. So the cookies need just another 2 minutes because they are slightly bigger than my norm. So no one really inspired me to do YouTube. It was just the thought of it, like due to like lockdown and everything, I needed like a creative outlook, that due to me finishing school. So I just wanted something to do as a hobby, and YouTube I love watching. Like I'm so nosy, I love watching people's lives. So yeah, I thought it would be fun and a little creative outlook, is that right? I don't know, but yes, the creativity side inspired me to do YouTube. And of course my favourite, Georgia, she asked what's my favourite takeaway, and if you know me, I love a Chinese. If I could have it every day of the week, I would. Before Corona, I had it pretty much every Saturday because that was my cheat day meal. No wonder I was not losing weight. But yes, I love a Chinese. Okay, next question. What are your favourite hobbies? And obviously fitness is a huge hobby of mine. Like I love going to the gym, I love working out. Especially during lockdown, I found the love for it. Like I lost motivation before lockdown, and then I needed something to occupy my mind and keep my mental health intact. So fitness is a massive hobby. Shopping obviously is a massive hobby for me. Love clothes, fashion, everything like that. Makeup, obviously a massive part of me. I don't know. And then obviously baking. I love baking, even though it's so high in calories. And obviously hanging out with my friends and family. I wouldn't call that a hobby, but I love doing it, so I don't know. I'm gonna do this last question really quickly before I get the cookies out the oven. What is your favourite thing to bake? And I would say either these cookies, because they're just so easy, or the Betty Crocker. It sounds like, oh my god, why is she bringing up that she's a baker and she's using Betty Crocker. I love the Betty Crocker brownies, so I do like a little like brownie cake with like the icing, the chocolate fudge icing on top. Oh, I sound really fat, I promise you I'm not. Okay, those are all of the questions. I'm now going to get the cookies out the oven before they burn because I've talked too much, so let's go. These have cooked, so I'm going to get them out to the oven and put them on the top for them to cool. These are the cookies. They do look really squidgy, but wait about 15 to 20 minutes for them to cool. You can see how much they expand. And they do, even if you do spread them out, they still merge together, but just get like a knife and separate them. There's nothing wrong with that. But yes, look how gooey they are. Oh my gosh. Some of them look burnt, I promise you they're not. But yeah, those are my cookies. Let the hair down. Right, we have our cookies on a plate. Fucking hell. I'm just a disaster. We've got the cookies on the plate. They have just about cooled down. These aren't all of them. I'm gonna shout down my dad to try one. He's just on a call, so I'll wait for him to finish because I'm obviously not gonna trample in there and be like, yo Pops, come and try my cookie that he's tried millions of times anyway. But yes, he's gonna come and try my cookies and give you a rating out of 10. So I've got Dad on camera.
Hi, I'm Dad. Come on in.
So we've got our cookies here. Gonna pick the top one. This one was a tester.
I've been given the smallest one of them. Okay.
Well, we need to share it.
Oh, right. That.
Bloody hell, greedy pig.
Oh, it's still melted. Fantastic. Gorgeous.
Rate out of 10.
Out of 10? Well, it's got to be at least a 9.
Thanks.
Better than last week's.
Acting like we have them every week. Thanks.
Oh, I'm dismissed now. Right.
Okay, Hans, that is the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you make them at home, and if you do, tag me in your Insta stories so I can see them and see how well yours turned out compared to mine. I'm getting distracted. Why am I getting distracted in an outro? Rude. So please comment some more content that you would like. Obviously a like, and you're here now, so if you're not subscribed, rude, so subscribe please. And I'll see you next Sunday for another video. Bye.